Has this ever happened to you?
So how do you handle stress and pressure?
Don't worry, it's going to get better. Hi, I'm Casey from June's Hong Kong, and in this video, we will show you how to prep for some very standard, very common, but very crucial interview questions. If you haven't watched our previous videos on practical tips on how to ace an online interview, please make sure to check that out.
Can you tell me a little bit about yourself, please?
This is the first question every interviewer would ask you, and it's best to have a 30 to 45 second long answer, briefly talking about your background, your passions, and your interests.
Hi, I'm Shreya. I'm 18. I recently graduated from ABC Secondary School. I was born and raised in Hong Kong, and I'm Nepali. In my free time, I watch a lot of crime TV shows and documentaries. I also end up researching on the crimes that those TV shows base it on. I find them very fun and informative. And thank you for having me today.
Why did you want to study in or choose this field?
Start by stating reasons like your childhood passion or an incident that happened in your life that sparked your interest for this course. Or perhaps you took a similar subject in high school and you developed passion for it. Any reason that you could link to the course you're applying would do.
The reason why I want to pursue chemistry is because in high school I took chemistry. And although I found a lot of it challenging, I was super intrigued with analytical chemistry. I would love a career in forensic analysis or even product development, especially for forensic analysis because I've always been super into crime shows and I would love to do it in real life.
What would you say your biggest strengths and weaknesses are?
For this question, remember to elaborate one strength and one weakness with examples. Try to stay humble and not brag too much about your strengths. Some good examples of strengths could be time-oriented, well-determined, well-organized, focused, and patient. For weakness, try to pick one where you can talk about how you're already trying to improve on it, again, with real-life examples. Some good examples include perfectionism, too independent, too self-critical, and you have a trouble saying no.
One of my strengths is that I'm very determined. Once I start a project, I won't think about anything else besides the project until it is completed. So it helps ensure quality and punctuality. As for my weakness, I think I sometimes tend to be too independent while working because I'm so focused on getting the job done. I forget to ask for help and trying to complete everything on my own. Over the years, I've realized that this is not healthy. As a team, there are certain tasks that are better performed with my group. It actually builds up collaboration and support within the team. I'm working on it by being more self-aware and taking on group projects, which will allow me to practice asking for support from people when I need to.
How do you handle stress and pressure?
You can actually turn this question around and talk about how sometimes pressure is good for you. But remember, stay humble and talk about how you actually cope with the pressure.
Pressure is actually quite important to me. Good pressure helps me to stay motivated and productive. Of course, there have been times when too much pressure has led to stress. However, I've practiced balancing multiple projects and meeting deadlines by making a detailed schedule or to-do list. This has helped me with multiple times from feeling overly stressed while dealing with work and tests in the past.
Describe a time you experienced a conflict while working on a team project and how you solved it.
Describe your role in a situation and what actions you took to resolve or to address the situation in a positive and constructive way. Emphasize on what you've learned and how your actions had a positive outcome.
This was during my high school years. It was one of the first group projects we'd worked on. Group projects were very new to us because we had only done a lot of individual works. We were grouped with people who had different opinions. There were a lot of disagreements towards the assignment's content. I would always try to remain neutral as I did not want to get myself into a mess. The disagreement went on throughout the whole project and it was impossible to conduct a meeting without the group mates screaming at each other. Whenever this happened, I would be in shock as this was all very new to us. I never saw students argue about what stance we take, what goes on the essay, because we're so used to deciding that on our own. I have learned that in situations where there are disagreements between different parties, it's best to stay neutral, listen to both sides, summarize their points, and try to make them think in each other's perspectives. This will allow us to reach a mutual agreement.
What achievement are you most proud of?
For this question, you can use the STAR approach. It includes situation, task, approach, and result to answer the question.
My biggest achievement would be when my friends and I had a group project together. We were supposed to integrate what we had learned from previous chemistry lessons. So we decided to make soap using the supplementary worksheets given by our teacher. We even came to school on weekends to work on the project. Through a lot of attempts, we were able to create something that came very close to soap. Although it didn't come out looking like the ones we buy in stores, we were still very happy with it because it wasn't something taught in class and we were able to achieve it on our own through our efforts.
Tell me about someone that inspires you the most.
Name anyone that inspires you. Make sure to mention why they inspire you and what you have learned from them. You can also make it personal by mentioning your family members or your relatives.
The people that inspire me the most are my parents. They have sacrificed a lot for my siblings and I in order to ensure that we have a good life. They work extremely hard so that we don't have any kind of financial problems that might hinder our studies. Seeing them work so hard, it always pushes me to work harder and not to give up when I face any difficulties.
That is all for the video. Hope the tips and some model answers can give you a clearer picture on how to ace some standard interview questions. Good luck!